Hurricane Ian is getting closer and closer to the Florida coast. That's after it made landfall over western Cuba earlier this morning as a Category 3 storm. As it moved over land, the wind speeds did go down just a little bit from 125 miles an hour to 115. Now it's back up to 120 mile an hour winds. Here's a live look right now, our Tower Cam network. This is at St. Pete Beach, and you can see all the chairs are taken away from the beach right now. The clouds look a little scary. The surf not too rough yet, but that surf is going to get a little bit rougher. Now we do have a new track just in, and this track has actually shifted a little bit south of Tampa now, actually closer to Fort Myers is where we can see a landfall on Wednesday as a Category 4 storm, and then it moves inland over Florida, may emerge back out over the Atlantic as you get near Daytona Beach and Jacksonville. That would be late Thursday into Friday, and then curve back up to potentially near Savannah, and right here along the Georgia coast, the South Carolina coast as well. We have some tropical storm watches in effect for much of the Georgia coast and South Carolina coast, even a tropical storm warning just north of Jacksonville into the Brunswick area. And then, of course, the big thing we have to watch is where the remnants will go. So far, the center of the low on this track stays to the west or to the east of us. That means we would be on the quieter side. We would still have some impacts, but not as bad as if we were on the other side of the track. Here's a look at the spaghetti model plots. That shows the consensus pretty much crossing over the Florida peninsula and then curving up into the Carolinas, so something that we'll be watching very closely. I want to bring Nicole Hartford into this conversation right now, as we have both been studying these models very closely in each new run that comes in. And what we're looking at here, these circles are the isobars, the bars of equal pressure. We have the American model in green. The pink and purple model is the European model. So as these comes closer to making landfall, the models separate just a little bit. The Euro trying to go a little faster coming into Florida, but both of them coming in at about the same spot near Fort Myers.
Yeah, at this point, both of these models and a lot of our spaghetti models are showing good consensus upon landfall location. They do start to separate a little bit further as they move up through Florida and possibly closer to the Atlantic as well.
And it looks like the American model shows a little slower track through Florida. The Euro's a little more aggressive, and then getting out over water still as a tropical storm, that could bring in a little more energy as it then curves back up and makes another landfall potentially on the Georgia coastline.
Yeah, and our question here is how far back west does it actually push?
And if it would get any stronger as it does that. And of course, we'll watch this. I'm glad that these models now are kind of in line with the Hurricane Center, showing the center staying to the east of us, because that puts us on the better side of the storm. So let's take a look right now at the what we're watching here with the long range models showing that rain coming into Florida, giving all that heavy rain through a big part of the peninsula there. And then we start to see the rain coming in to the Georgia coastline Thursday and then into Friday. Later in the day, that's when the rain starts moving in here. It's going to be turning breezy. We'll actually feel some breezes tomorrow, a little bit more Thursday, a little bit more on Friday, and then on Saturday, that looks like the wettest day. But again, if we can stay on the west side of the center of that circulation, it looks like the storm risk would be more into East Georgia and into the Carolinas, and then that rain wraps up and pulls out of here. Still a few showers lingering into Sunday, but then tapering off later Sunday into Monday. But until that gets here, late Friday into Saturday, we're still dealing with some really nice weather. You'll see a few more high thin clouds tomorrow, highs near 75. It's going to be another cool morning. Turning breezy Thursday, a few more clouds Friday, rain coming in late, still breezy there. Saturday, showers with breezy conditions, and then still some lingering showers Sunday. I know big series with the Braves this weekend. We're really going to have to watch these rain chances very closely here, and some games may be impacted by that rain. Then lower rain chances Monday and Tuesday with highs still holding in the mid 70s.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. You know,